Hi guys, Nat here, and if you've been watching any of my previous videos you'll see that I've not long started my sim racing journey, particularly iRacing. So for the first week I practiced on Okayama, just learning the track, learning the MX-5, getting things set up. Today I decided to jump into my first AI race. Yeah, and I was nervous even before this one, so not sure how I'll cope with an official lobby. I left the settings as they were, so the AI, I think they're on adaptive by default on quite a low level. But yeah, let's jump in and see how it goes. So I didn't qualify, and I thought that would make me start at the back, but I actually started in P2, although I did end up in P3 there for a little bit. But yeah, back into P2. Did actually manage to get sound for this video, so I used NVIDIA Experience instead of the screen snipping tool. I still need to get some overlays sorted so you can see like my position and maybe the track map. Bit of a punt there, but it was a 0 incident point, so yeah, I'll take that. It takes some used to getting used to looking around you, because when you're hot lapping you're only focusing on your line and your braking points and your gear selection, whereas racing you've got to pay attention to what the other cars are doing. Like there, I braked a bit earlier than I was expecting, so I just had to move over a little. And yeah, getting used to taking slightly different lines if you're trying to overtake, or if your line is being occupied. But yeah, that's also what I wanted to do some AI races, just to get used to having other cars around me. I absolutely hate this in the next corner. No matter how much I practice them or watch videos or telemetry, I just suck at those two corners. That's the one thing I did notice as well. Sometimes I had to stop myself from just copying the car that was in front of me. Because obviously if they run wide, then I run wide, and I've missed the chance to... Oh, another bit of a clip there. Oops. I also didn't realise how many laps, so I just left it as it was. And I think in the end it's like 12 laps, because I remember I've been driving for ages. Oh yeah, that's not great. Getting a bit spun round there by that other car. Maybe that is good practice for rookies. But yeah, halfway through my spotter was like, "You're halfway there." I was like, halfway? Like, I've been driving for like forever. But yeah, I did want to start at the back, so I guess I kind of got my wish there. Also, I didn't notice that after watching it back and looking at its telemetry, my brake foot was actually resting on the pedal, and it was only slightly, but it was activating the brake pedal. So every time, even if I was full gas, I wasn't quite getting the full acceleration because of that. So yeah, I just had to tweak some settings afterwards. But yeah, so now it was just, wondering, can I catch up? Like, seeing cars in the distance does give you something to aim for. But yeah, it's learning lesson, and also realising that even with triple screens there are still some areas that are slight blind spots. And just telling myself, patience is key, and especially, I didn't know if the AI would make any mistakes or what, but in an actual race you've always got the opportunity of someone else crashing or spinning or having an incident, so yeah, it's just keep going, and even if I don't get the result that I want, as long as it builds on the safety rating. I think that was in the back of my mind as well, was trying to keep it clean and not getting incident points. That does also make it quite hard to push, so I noticed like my lap times in this race were really bad compared to my hot lap. So my hot lap best is a 1 minute 46.7. And yeah, I got absolutely nowhere near that in this race. A little bit of a punt there. Yeah, and then it got a bit flustered, so I just backed out. Didn't really want to get into any more spin result issues. This corner I noticed that the AI like brake a lot sooner than I do, and it was probably one of my key overtaking areas because, like I say, on the outside or the inside I just found routes around. So yeah, I quite like that corner. It was the one when I was hot lapping. I lost a lot of time there until I started to learn the best line for it. But yeah, no, it was interesting because obviously I'm getting back towards the middle of the pack, so it kind of gives you that motivation to keep catching up. But yeah, it was quite surprising when I looked up, because I wasn't paying any attention to lap times whilst I was racing. There was too much other stuff going on, like how people stream at a much faster and higher level than I'm racing, and they're talking and they're reading like Twitch comments and stuff. I'm just like, how are you people doing that? But for me it was focus on the cars ahead, on the track, on my points. It was quite fun though, even with AI, so I can imagine that online racing is a lot more intense, with a lot more on the line. But that was a very early break there from that car. Sometimes it catches you off guard because you're just not expecting it. But yeah, I definitely need to increase the AI difficulty and maybe go for a fixed. So there's adaptive or there's like a fixed percentage range. So I'll probably go with the fixed option and just bump up the difficulty and see how that goes. Because yeah, I've not been running fast laps, and even after that incident I've still managed to catch up with a lot of cars here, which I feel like wouldn't really happen necessarily in an online race. It is a tricky balance between trying to find that pace and just consciously, like, I know that I'm taking it easier because I don't want the instant points, I don't want to spin, I don't want any issues, but I'm just losing so much pace because of it. And I mean, there was sometimes I can't really do much, like here I can't get past those cars here, so I'm just stuck until it's safe to do so. Like there, I didn't really want to take him on the outside of that corner, so I just had to drop back, let him go around and then pick the next best place. So yeah, that probably slowed down. Yeah, a bit of side by side rubbing is racing, isn't it, as the saying. So again, that was a 0 incident point. I was scared to get in their draft because I didn't know when they were gonna brake like that again, braking earlier than my marker, so I didn't want to be right behind them. I missed the apex completely there, that's not good. Yeah, it definitely wasn't the best laps I've done here. It kind of looks like I'm not used to the circuit, but yeah, like I say, I spent the whole week. It's the only track I've raced so far on iRacing, or with my sim rig actually, since March, so yeah, I haven't raced anything. I'm not sure if is there a car ahead of him in my P3 right now? I'm gonna have to get the overlay sorted because even I can't remember. Where is that P1? Yeah, it might actually be P1. But again, even in the race, I wasn't really, I was trying not to pay attention to that, I was just focusing on my race. I guess the incident kind of helped with that because it took the pressure off. Although in the back of my mind I'm like, I know that this is going to be a video that I want to post to YouTube, so I was trying not to do anything too bad, and then yeah, I ended up in last place, but you know. But yeah, it's just getting that mentality of keep going, because when I used to play racing games, like I said in another video, it was Forza and Need for Speed, things like that, where you could pretty much put your foot down and get the first place on the first corner or two, and then you didn't really have to worry about anything else. And then with them being arcade, you had like the rewind, or you could just restart race. There was no real jeopardy there. I haven't done online races. The last online race I did was years and years and years ago, when Grand Theft Auto 5 I think was first out, and I was playing the online on that, and obviously that is just nowhere near comparable to this. And that was also with a controller, not the wheel and the pedals. Yeah, still learning the trail braking and knowing when to push past someone and when to just wait a little bit longer before going for the move. And I was quite aggressive when I used to play Forza, because again, being against bots and stuff, I mean, I know there's another car ahead, so that must be for second now. So yeah, it was very different. There's now with the instant points, and obviously wanting to race online, I don't want to damage or ruin anyone else's race, and the damage that you get to your own car, there's a lot more to be wary of. Oh, I feel like that corner is just always so bad. Followed by this one, it's also so bad. To be fair, that one wasn't that terrible, but oh, that was shocking. I don't normally struggle on that corner, so I'm not quite sure what happened there. That was yeah, chasing the car ahead. I hadn't really thought about the rest of the field or whatever. Again, I was just trying to keep it clean. And then yeah, my spotter, so crew chief, started telling me that I was in second place, and I was like, wait, what? And yeah, then that happened. So yeah, I had to get back on safely, so slower than I would have liked there, but I had to let some cars go past that you couldn't see in the mirror there. So yeah, and then I was just like, oh, as if, right, okay. So at this point in my mind, I'm like, right, there's no way I'm getting first. Yeah, and that was just sloppy to lose it on that corner, but like I said, I just lost focus, and then I realised, like, wait, I've got a button map for the relative. So I was like, let's open the relative black box so I can see, you know, the gap the car ahead and what's behind, and to also see where I actually am in the pack. And then that way I wouldn't get any more nasty surprises when I don't realise I'm in second and then just completely blow it. Yeah, I feel like obviously I've gotten much better on this track, so my very first lap was a 2:42. And then yeah, end of day 1, 1:51, day 2, 1:50, got it to 1:49, 1:48.7, then 1:48.1, then 1:47, and now I've recently just dipped into the 1:46.782. So yeah, I'm still nowhere near like the super fast people. But, it's been an improvement, and it's tricky at times, because I'm like, how can I get faster than this? I feel like I'm driving it as fast as I can, even though I know obviously I'm nowhere near, and people are hitting like 1:42s and stuff, so there's still like 4 seconds to be found. But yeah, I think corners 8 and 9 where I've really struggled. hoping that when I do race online, it's not just me at the back just trying to finish a race. But we will see. So the plan is, I looked at the rookie schedule. I think it's Circuit de Navarro, however it's pronounced. But yeah, I won't be ready for that this week. Next week is Summit Point. So the plan is to hopefully get some practicing on Summit Point before it changes to that next week. And then maybe, depending how my pace is looking, maybe do an official race there. But I need to check what like a good pace for that track is, whether I can get close to that. It's hard as well because it depends on the track temperature and stuff. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Also tricky not knowing about the splits, so I was looking at like the iRacing stats to try and see. Yeah, working out how the splits work. Because there are some higher splits where the average pace is actually lower than the split below it, so I don't really understand that too well, to be honest. But yeah, if you guys know what kind of pace I should be looking at to be competitive on any or all of the MX5 tracks for the series, then yeah, drop it in the comments so I at least know what I should be aiming for. Oh, that was what was I doing there? Okay, so yeah, the AI do make some mistakes there. Nice free place to gain. Won't complain about that. And then again, get to see some cars in the distance, so it gets a bit of a target to be like, oh, okay, the chase is back on. I mean, best lap so far, 1:53.48. That's just like nearly 7 seconds off my fastest hot lap. No, I'm not quite sure. I'm sure the race temperature was the same as when I was hot lapping as well, so yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. It's tricky because I've kind of got so used to this track now that I kind of want to improve my race pace and also see if I can get my hot lap time down. But at the same time, on the hot lap pace, I feel like I'm a bit plateaued at the minute, and maybe I need to go and do a few other tracks, learn the car a bit more, and then come back to this track. But when I have a race like this where my race pace is so massively behind where I would have expected it to be, then it kind of makes me question A, why that is, and B, oh, that's not good. Although I believe that was actually still a 0x. But yeah, that would have been a sorry. Might have to put that on my my wheel for the sorry macro, because I feel like I might be saying that quite a lot. Not intentionally, obviously, I don't want to hit anyone, but yeah, accidents happen. Sometimes you just misjudge. Ooh, I thought I was going to misjudge that one as well, but no. Okay. It's weird how little I can remember of this race actually, because you're so like focused on what's happening. That, and it's also quite a long time, like 12 laps. I'm doing like 1:53, so nearly 2 minutes a lap. I think I had a couple of 2+ minutes laps. So yeah, it's a while. It's gonna be like what, 22 minutes? Oh, that was risky. Okay, got it stopped though. It's just so weird not being able to see the mirror here. Obviously when I'm racing I have got the side mirrors and the centre mirror. I don't use the virtual mirror because I'm trying to keep it somewhat realistic, so I'm trying to keep things off the screen. I have got a dashboard on my tablet to sit above my wheelbase. I recently got the mount for that, so that'll be set up soon. Looking at getting some eye flags as well. So like I say, just trying to keep things off the screen and get them around. Using crew chief as the spotter. I disabled the one in the actual game. Was that for first? Is it actually? I don't know. If that was for first, then that was a bit too easy, wasn't it? Yeah, and sometimes it's hot. Well, I find it, whether it's a psychological thing, but when I don't have a car in front, then I feel the pressure even more because I just don't want to make a mistake. And I think that'll be like if I'm in a podium position online, keeping that pace whilst also being scared of making a mistake. So that'll be a big test, and it's just going to come down to the consistency. I think, is there the rest of this lap and then one more lap? It's a bit tricky without the overlays because I don't think it won't show the flag, but I'm pretty sure it should be white flag when I next cross the finish. And I did, if I recall correctly, have a bit of a buffer now from P2, so they did close the gap for a little bit, but then it started to grow again, so I was pretty safe. I mean, obviously unless I did something catastrophic like spin or just meatball the car completely. But yeah, I got to the finish, and when the white flag came up, it was like I was telling myself that you've just got one more hot lap. You've done laps around here so many times, you just got to do one more, and then yeah, you've got the win. Yeah, I was definitely keeping an eye on the black box just to see if they were closing on me or if I was still okay. Didn't want to have that first place robbed right on the finish line, so yeah, it's learning as well that there's some corners that just aren't really great for overtaking on, so picking your moments and just watching. So if you've been behind the car for a while, like, you learn what line they like to take. I feel like in a couple of instances on here that AI did kind of alter their line to avoid me, and in a rookies lobby I'm not sure if that would be the case, like when people have that awareness, maybe they didn't even see me if they haven't got triples or a spotter or whatever else. So yeah, it's just keeping that in mind, just thinking about where I'm going to put my car. Is it in someone's blind spot? Are they going to expect me to be there? But yeah, this was the first race, so AI definitely needs to be turned up, but there you go. So yeah, if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more of my racing journey as it continues. But yeah, otherwise thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thanks.